Nani?
NANI?
Hey and welcome to the Review Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original anime series Cagaster of an Insect Age. So Cagaster of an Insect Age, 30 years after a disease that turns the infected into carnivorous insects emerged, a young exterminator and a teenage girl search for her mother. This anime is 12 episodes long, about 30 minutes per episode. If you cut off the beginning and the end, you're looking at about 25 minutes. Kind of standard for an anime. It's the animated style itself is kind of 3D with a bit of art style substance. There's a lot of 3D environments, but they shell shaded in parts to give the look that it is drawn. And once you get used to that style, you'll be intrigued into the story. This is one of those classic animes where you talk about anime being dark. My son and I always have this joke where we talk about, is the anime good? And then we ask ourselves this question. Do people die in it? Is it sad? Does it grip you emotionally? And if it ticks those three boxes, generally you can tell it's a good anime story. It is based on a manga or manga, however you like to pronounce it. And so I think there's some really good grounding for good stories, so they've adapted it quite nicely. And within the creative process, the story gets darker. You have to get past the initial first episode. So if you're struggling within the first episode and you go to yourself, nah, I don't know if I can watch this, get past that first episode. Immediately on episode 2, within the first few minutes, you'll start seeing something change, and that's where they draw you in to the characters. You get the arc, you get to see the characters within this town, where it's kind of the hub where the main story takes part, and then it builds story for a few episodes, but the main arc doesn't kick into about the 6th episode, about halfway through.
NANI? お前はもう死んでいる。
And that's when you'll know what you're in for, because if you're ready to discovered how the story is going to be dark, quite emotionally entangled within certain characters, don't get too invested with certain characters without doing spoilers. It's classic anime where it just really kind of exposes you to these characters that they love to build within the funny, within the family unit. You know, it's kind of orphan, anti-hero. It's anti-hero with a dark story behind, which they do through flashbacks. You get to find out what he is and what he's about, and then you see this journey that, you know, trying to find the mother. It's this whole journey arc that is classic for anime, but it's where it's dark and it really grips you emotionally. I think that you'll really enjoy it. I like the action sequences, but it can take you some time to really kind of wrap your head around the animation style. I feel like we're going to get a lot more of these kind of 3D rendered animation styles without it being like hand drawn. A lot of studios are doing this now. I think it's easier to do it that way. But I didn't mind it for this. I thought it was okay. Once the story really gets into that arc, I was thoroughly engaged with the story. I thought it was quite unique. It is mature, so you're getting that blood content and that gore, and you know the way the monsters are shown on screen does look CG, but when they're killing, you're getting that, you know, that slap across the screen with the gore, and so it is definitely more adult themed. And talking about those adult themes, there's some dodginess when it comes to young ladies in this that I thought, well, I don't know if that needed to be in, but it does seem to be kind of part and parcel for anime. You get a pervy character, you get characters that are into young girls, or just dodgy stuff, but that seems to be part and parcel with anime, and you get that. It is a mature stuff. You don't see a lot of sex and stuff, but it is insinuated, so I'll just let you deal with that however you would like to deal with that. I'm pretty sure it's in the manga as well. As a whole, it's a fairly decent anime. It's fun. I'm looking forward to see where future series go, if we get one. Hopefully we do. I think the story is where this is best. You get those quirky, weird, fun characters, but when it dives emotionally into the anime, I think you care about the action sequences and you feel gripped because they've built enough of the story. And I think that's where this anime is strongest. I don't know if it's the style that is the strongest thing about this anime, but it's the story, and I think that's okay. You can handle any of the animation itself if you're not particularly fond of it. I thought it was okay, and I grew to enjoy it and like it. I didn't mind it, as I said, but that story with those characters, they're typical characters. I remember thinking to myself when I was watching the first few episodes, this is the most anime ever, because it ticks all of those boxes that you expect of things to see in anime. You get that in here. It's kind of all thrown in. Quirky characters, dark, storylines, just funny, bizarre, pervy things, and that's kind of what you get in this. Interesting soundtrack and score that's kind of all over the place, that sometimes they don't stick to one genre for this anime. The subtitles, I think, are probably your way to go. You get those nuances from the characters that within the voice actors, I think, is the original Japanese. I tried watching a couple in English and American, and I think it's okay. I do think you lose something, particularly with this anime, watching it in subtitle. It just didn't feel quite right. There's nothing wrong. I think it's fine, and you can easily watch it. If you don't feel like reading, you can easily watch it in this, but it does feel slightly off. But that's just my preference. I do enjoy watching particularly anime in its original language. So let me know in the comments below what you thought about this anime. Were you looking forward to it? Have you read the original manga? And who is your favorite character in manga series that you've seen on Netflix so far, or anime series if you've seen on Netflix so far? Which is your favorite top 2 anime of all time? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching this review, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.